This is Carl Eller, and you're watching the Onebar and Lupagus show.
All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. It is a short week, and we're going to jam in a SKOL'ing with the Enemy. This week, we got Dan and Bob from the SteelTwins. Check out their links down in the description. Hit up their page. I say this almost every week, but I really mean it this week. You will not be disappointed. Check them out. Hit up their link. Give them a sub. Fellas, how are you doing today?
We are doing great. After a win versus the Ravens, I'm feeling really good coming into this game against your guys' Vikings, man.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, Steelers, we're kind of at opposite ends here. Steelers getting that big old win against the Ravens. Vikings stepping on their dick, losing to the Lions, giving them their first win. I mean, morale right now it's got to be fairly decent in Pittsburgh.
I'd say so. I'd hope so for sure.
I watched your video after the Bengals, where I believe the title was even "We Suck." So, I mean, you guys must be turning a corner. The Ravens was a big win.
Yeah, it definitely was, but I don't know if I would say turn the corner quite yet. At least not yet. I mean, the thing about this team, it's quite inconsistent, but it was a big win against the Ravens.
So did something change that triggered the win against the Ravens? And, after the blowout loss to the Bengals, what was different? What happened?
I think all the criticism from the media and former players that really lit a fire on them. At least that's what I'm assuming. That's what I'm hoping. Otherwise, I can't really tell you. Maybe it was just an aspect of the Steelers-Ravens rivalry that actually woke them up.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever it was, I mean, I hope they're alive come Thursday.
Yeah, well, you don't have to be overly alive. You can just be mildly alive. Because Vikings, it's very interesting right now in Minnesota. Speaking of that, I mean, Minnesota is pretty beat up. We got Dalvin Cook, Thielen, Darrisaw, Barr, Kendricks, all big question marks. As far as Pittsburgh, health-wise, tell me you got some big boys that are possibly not going to play.
The only big boy I can tell you is cornerback Joe Hayden. That's it.
Oh, it's something. It's better than nothing.
We'll take it.
I want to kind of touch out the morale thing because, 2 weeks ago, the Vikings were coming off back-to-back wins against the Chargers and the Packers. Then we dropped 2 in a row to the Niners. Then, of course, the lowly Lions. So now the talk in Minnesota, fire Zimmer, blow the whole thing up right now. So I want to ask you guys about your head coach, Mike Tomlin. You guys had some struggles this year. Is his tenure ever going to come to an end? And is there any chance maybe it'll be this year and maybe he'll come back to Minnesota where he started?
I hate to break your heart. That is, if you want Mike Tomlin, that is not going to happen because
just tell him he's dreaming.
I do want Mike Tomlin. Why would I not?
I mean, seriously, Mike Tomlin, he does have some critiques, but
he's not perfect. I mean, nobody is,
but he is a really good coach, and he just extended his contract to 2024, so he's not going anywhere. And the Rooneys do not fire coaches, so I think he's going to run out his contract, and that'll be the end of his tenure here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, what do you guys have had? Like 4 coaches?
Yeah, not even that.
3.
3?
3.
That's crazy.
Well, let's talk about some of your big boys that'll probably give the Vikings some headaches this Thursday. Deontay Johnson. I mean, looking at this guy's numbers week in and week out. Maybe it's just because I'm not overly involved or follow the Pittsburgh Steelers overly close, but this guy doesn't seem to get enough love as he should. How do Steeler fans feel about him?
He definitely is very underrated and underappreciated by, I'd say, the entire NFL.
In fact, I really appreciate your comment on that because he is having a quiet season. And when I mean quiet, it means that he does not get talked about a lot. In fact, I read a stat on Twitter earlier that there are 3 receivers, top 3 receivers with most receiving yards since week 10. Number 1 is obviously your boy, Justin Jefferson. That's a no-brainer. Number 2 is Deontay Johnson. Now, Jefferson overlaps Johnson by almost 200 yards, but the fact that Johnson's up there is pretty impressive.
Yeah, once again, we are joined by the SteelTwins. Links down in the description. Hit them up. I'll definitely be hitting them up regardless of what happens after the game to check out their post game. Hopefully it's a rant. Hopefully they're very upset, but I don't see that happening. Vikings. I mean, when I look at the Vikings, one way that they could possibly get a win, even with Dalvin Cook, is your run defense appears to be mildly balls. Can you confirm that?
By that, what do you mean?
Not good.
You're right. You are very right. It worries the absolute shit out of me. I know you guys aren't with or are without Cook. You got Madison up there as running back 1, but he's no slouch. You know, he's a really good back, very underrated, great number 2. So I am actually very terrified of what Madison can do. I'm hoping some of these new additions we made on the defensive line can better our run defense, but I'm still very worrisome against a. How is your guys' line? I feel like your guys' line is pretty solid.
Well, I guess I'll let you take this one.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. They did a massive reshuffle last week. Christian Darrisaw's out, so they take our struggling right guard, Oli Udo, put him at left tackle. And they put our backup center, Mason Cole, at right guard, and they have our shitty normal center, Garrett Bradbury, in the middle. So it's good. It's good on the right tackle with Brian O'Neill. Ezra Cleveland's been okay at left guard, but definitely issues at left tackle and right guard. Oli Udo has been a flag magnet. You will get plenty of holding calls on him on Thursday and probably at least 2 or 3 false starts. So he is what we call the drive killer. But
yeah, you should be feeling pretty good about our line with Darrisaw. When Darrisaw was in, it was looking pretty damn good, actually. And now with him being out, one big thing, definitely looking forward to watching is Brian O'Neill and TJ Watt. TJ Watt just seems to be on a terrible tears. I mean, how much should we be shaking about this guy?
Barry, I'd say. Honestly, I mean, TJ Watt is obviously one of the best NFL defensive players in the league. The guy is a big impact for the Steelers. He could be a big game changer when it comes to this game Thursday night.
I think he will be, honestly. Now, O'Neal is incredibly underrated. He deserved that contract. But TJ Watt, I mean, you always got to favor the guy. I know we're the guests, but I would like to ask you guys a question. Do you agree that he is the current runner for Defensive Player of the Year?
What?
Yes.
God, what's he leading the league? Isn't he leading the league by 2 sacks? And how many games has he missed?
Like 2.5.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely right in there.
It's yeah. I mean, it's pretty damn tough to put somebody ahead of him. I mean, we'll have a front row seat to him on Thursday. I think Brian O'Neill will keep him mildly in check, but he'll definitely make some plays. There's no doubt.
Yeah, he'll make some plays, but we've actually done pretty well against premier edge rushers this year. So, I mean, even we faced Bosa a couple weeks ago. I think he got to us once, but it seems to be the lesser known guys we struggle more with. So I do expect Watt to get his plays, but I think we'll do okay against him.
We'll see. How about go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask you. So Ben Roethlisberger's come out and said this is his last year. I know this is kind of getting off topic from Thursday's game here, but do you think you're going to go a rookie route, bring in a veteran? What's the sense in Pittsburgh? How are you going to replace him?
I have no idea. We obviously have our pipe dreams, aka Aaron Rodgers, but
hey,
I don't know.
Never know, man.
You never know. The NFL.
Take him. Get him the hell out of our division.
I'm sure you guys would love him out of the NFC North.
I'll gladly take him out of the conference, out of the division. We'll take him from one north right to the next. I'll gladly take him. But no, I think we're gonna go quarterback in the draft. To be 100% honest with you.
Bring Josh Dobbs back. Where the hell is that guy these days?
He is on the injury report list and probably reading about rocket science.
Really? Smart guy, huh?
Very
he
smart.
is a smart guy, yeah.
Is he? Okay, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. What else you got, Lupagus?
A couple things. I want to talk about a couple of your guys as rookies. What's the thoughts on Najee Harris now? We're about 3/4 through the season. And what's the thoughts on Pat Freiermuth? Your guys is looking like maybe the next great Steelers tight end at this point. Was that too early to say that?
It is not too early to say that. He has completely just blown away all of our expectations, especially for a rookie tight end. He is our next Heath Miller. Regarding Najee Harris, the dude's a beast. I mean, he's what, almost top 5 in rushing yards, and he's playing behind this bum offensive line of ours, which do have a few rookies on it as well. But he's just a guy that's hard to take down. He creates his own yardage. So Najee's just a gem, honestly.
Yeah, he's a diamond in the rough with the Steelers offense. Like, Najee is a great back, and same with Pat Freiermuth, a great tight end, and they're both rookies. And I think they're going to be future stars of the Steelers offense.
And that's going to be I gave you guys some shit saying that your run defense is balls, but Vikings are right there neck and neck with you guys. So that will I honestly think when this one's all said and done, even though the Vikings are coming off a horrible loss, it's going to be close. It's the way the Vikings have been playing. It doesn't matter who they're playing, it's going to be close, but it's going to come down to these run games.
Yeah, I could definitely see it happening. Both rush defenses have their moments, but they're very lackluster. So I can definitely see both teams definitely run the ball very effectively.
Yeah, especially if Kendricks and Barr out. I think Najee and Firemouth are going to have some big games. We couldn't cover Hawkinson worth of shit last week. A little better in the second half than we were the first half. And their other backup tight end I never even heard of before. He had a pretty good first half against the Vikings. Nick Vigil completely lost in coverage. So if he's out there, yeah, Firemouth's going to just dominate.
Keep calling him Firemouth.
Firemouth. It could be Firemouth. That's kind of a good name.
I like
I
it.
do like that name.
I
Yeah.
like it. Looking at your box scores, I mean, Vikings, we all know, I mean, it's been very up and down, very close games, very inconsistent. And looking at your box scores, it kind of feels like the Steelers are kind of on the same path this year. They're kind of toying with their emotions. Is that fair?
That is incredibly fair. That's actually pissing me off. In fact, one older Steelers fan actually died because the Lions game went into overtime.
Yeah.
That's a legit report. So yeah, this team completely plays without emotions. It's a heart attack every week. It's an up and down season. In some odd way, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, I'd hate to see what happened. You guys actually would have lost to the Lions. You know, we did that. At least you guys tied. I know they're a very strong opponent, but maybe you guys would have had like a dozen deaths or something. You guys would have actually lost to the Lions.
Oh my God. If we would have lost to the Lions, I swear to God, I would have just said season over right there. That's just embarrassing.
No, it is.
That's what we did last week. It's over, man.
I mean, that tie though, it felt like a loss.
It
Like
did.
both of our teams just struggled against a team that should still be winless.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, it's a roller coaster of emotions for both teams this season. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. If you guys rip off a win on Thursday, getting yourselves more in the hunt of the playoffs, or is this going to be a turning point, or is it going to be like, oh, that's great, we just beat the Vikings who lost to the Lions?
See, that's a interesting question because it depends how we win the game. But I think this is also our last NFC opponent of the year. The remaining games are all AFC, which are going to be crucial. We got Titans, Chiefs, guys like that will matter about the playoffs, of course. If we beat the Vikings, I think it will definitely be a good win because that's what we need to rack up for the playoffs as we're currently in the hunt and for the division. So I'll gladly take win versus the Vikings. I hope the Steelers do it in good fashion. I know no one's perfect. Not every game is going to be perfect, but if they want us as Steelers fans to be confident about this team for a run to the playoffs or even a one last ride is what we're calling the season because it's Ben's last year, then they need to do it in a more better fashion because I've noticed the past few weeks, especially the offense, they're only alive 15 minutes of the game. And I just don't think that's a recipe for winning football games.
No, definitely. Especially if you were to make the playoffs, you know, you're just going to lose like what happened to the Steelers last year in the playoffs against the Browns. It was not a good game whatsoever. We got destroyed. And I just don't want that same case being for this season. I really don't. You know, I hope they go out there and have a convincing matchup, even though it is the Vikings. I'm still not going to underestimate the Vikings team. They still got guys that can make plays, that can get the job done. Not going to underestimate them one bit, but I hope the Steelers do go out there in convincing fashion and try to get the win.
I'm going to ask you, what's the most painful loss you guys can have? It seems like you're pretty damn good rivals with everybody in your division. I mean, the Vikings, it's clearly the Packers. When we lose to the Packers, I'm up pretty much all night. Browns, Ravens, who's the worst?
Oh, the Ravens for sure. By rival, by fan base, for sure the Browns.
Just because the Ravens have been so good with you. I mean, you guys are both kind of dominating the North the last decade. Is that why?
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
It's more of a mutual respect sort of thing now. I mean, there's obviously a ton of hatred still there, but you got to respect the rivalry.
Yeah.
Well, how does it feel that the Browns have gotten good? Because, you know, if the Lions ever get there, I mean, the Browns were just shit for so long, and now they're actually decent. I just can't imagine what that would feel like if the Lions actually got to that point. What's it like having three solid opponents in your division?
I like it actually, because for a while we started getting similar to what the Patriots fans would always hear, how you're in an easy division, all this and that. You get 2 guaranteed wins against the Browns. I like a competitive division. It really shows what this team's truly made of, and it just makes football a lot better. So I hate to see the Browns come up to some sort of relevancy now, but I do appreciate the competitive aspect of it.
And we do got to give the Browns credit. After many years of being in the basement of the AFC North, they have definitely gotten better. They've made the right moves when it comes to general manager and head coach. They've got the right guys. They've gotten the right guys in free agency. Like, you got to give the Browns credit, but still hate them.
One thing I will say
Yeah.
for sure, though, is the Lions will never get to that. That's for sure.
All right.
Well, we'd love to give the Lions shit right now, but we can't.
We
we
just
just
lost
their
it.
asses. So we got to respect them. Couple more. Once again, joined by Dan and Bob, the Steel Twins. Links in the description. I always like to ask this one: if you were a GM for 5 minutes, what movie are you making?
Oh, wow.
That's a good question.
I'm forcing Ben to retire.
Wow, you're not even gonna let them finish the season.
Well, yeah, at that point, yeah. So you're talking about right now?
Right now, what movie you making?
Oh,
You
that's
got 5 minutes.
I think you said
Uh,
movie. Like, why the hell you want to make a movie?
That too.
No, I'm signing the biggest free agent offensive tackle I can find, like a Mitchell Schwartz if he's healthy,
Right.
because this line's just it's too young.
Yeah, for me, I'd probably go out my way and find a true younger number one corner, since our number one corner, Joe Hayden, he's getting up there with age, and he's probably going to be leaving next year in free agency. Either that or get a true number one inside linebacker.
Yeah, what's up? You guys don't like Devin Bush, do you?
Not at the moment. No, I have no idea what happened. Love the pick, love the trade up, but ever since that injury happened last year, he's just not been the same. Like, it's not like he lost all his talent; he just lost his ability to use it. Honestly,
Yeah, he's had his moments, but this year it's just like he just doesn't do much. I know he has the potential. I truly think he can still be a great linebacker in this league. It's just I think it's just a mental thing coming from the ACL injury. It's just that he just got to try to figure something out. Honestly,
I told you.
I
I
wanna
told you I was watching some of your episodes.
appreciate it.
Yeah. I want to circle back to you guys mentioned Aaron Rodgers as a replacement for Ben Roethlisberger. How would you feel if, Vikings maybe blowing this whole thing up if we lose Thursday and they fire the coach? Kirk Cousins came to Pittsburgh. How would that tickle your fancies?
interesting. I didn't expect that question, but I would welcome Kirk Cousins as a gap quarterback. Now, I'll say this though: I think Cousins is underappreciated. I think some of the losses that you guys suffered this year was not due to him. It's definitely due to Zimmer and the defense specifically.
But a lot of weapons there. Kirk Cousins could actually do pretty well with in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think he would, and I would not mind Kirk Cousins one bit. I really wouldn't.
Yeah, I think him and Johnson could create magic for sure. Like just like how him and Jefferson are.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm gonna say this: he is the X factor in this game. Maybe we can limit Madison and your guys' rushing attack, but Justin Jefferson, I mean, I don't trust any of our corners to cover that guy. I don't care if we had Deion Sanders in his prime. Jefferson's on a roll right now. I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah, the Lions had no answer for him, so that should shake fear in your guys' viewers.
Yeah, Jefferson had his career game last week, and we still lost. So,
Yeah, Cousins threw for 400. Mac Jones throws 3 times, and the Patriots win, and we lose. So it's the way the season's gone for the Vikings.
Yeah.
all right, Dan and Bob from the Steel Twins, just wrapping this thing up. I can kind of get a good gauge based off of what you're saying, but how are you feeling going in this game? Not so much a game prediction, but who's coming out on top?
I'm feeling very confident about this, more so than I did weeks prior. That might just be due to the fact that Cousins is in prime time and doesn't do that great against winning competition. But I think this team's kind of on a roll after a big win versus a rival in the Ravens. I know they're on a short week. We have some guys out on the line, D-line, O-line. We have Hayden out, but I'm feeling a little more optimistic. My only problem is every time I do that this season, they let me down. So knock on wood. But I'm feeling very good about this game.
No, I have to agree with Dan here, and the thing with the Vikings is they do blow leads and they do tend to lose games. So if the Steelers tend to take advantage of that, then I do feel optimistic coming into this game. They do something and they can come out of Minnesota with a victory.
It's kind of weird because you guys feel optimistic. I feel not great about this game for the Vikings, which makes me think they might actually pull it off. That's the way the season's gone. So when I feel bad about the games, that's when they win. So
it's like a reverse psychology.
it is.
It really is. Yeah.
Well, I think we can both agree on that. There's nothing worse than a short week. I know you guys aren't big fans of that either. Thursday night games, like you said, especially with Cousins, but we know not looking forward to it. But we shall see. Hopefully it's a good matchup. Hopefully one way or another, it's a blowout. I can't deal with another close game, and I know Lupagus can't either.
Yeah, my old heart can't take it. It's too much. It's too much this year.
You'll be reading about us in the papers tipping over.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it, man. Thanks for hopping on. Appreciate it. Again, check out the links in the description, and good luck on Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah, you gotta get used to that because it is Thursday. It's a short week. But hey, I appreciate you guys for having us on. That's all due to you. You guys moving your schedule around to make this possible. So shout out to you guys. Those that are listening, hit that like button, hit that subscribe for sure.
Absolutely. And good luck this Thursday night. Best of luck. May the best team win.
Yeah,
All right,
you do, guys.
Thanks, fellas.
Take care.